blocker. The intensity already high in Provo, and we are underway in the second round of the NCAA tournament in the final match in the Smithfield House this season. McEwen Lareness gets the touch. She was fantastic last night. Hit 727. Tonight's officials: Ryan McDowell running the show up top, Daphne Nelson on the reviews down low as the R2. The line judges Dan Swenson and James Reese. McEwen Lareness will start things for BYU on the service line. Right at Schroll, the former LMU libero who played against BYU in this gym, and that one into the net from Claire Jeter, 2-0 Brigham Young.
Going a little low for the middle. An interesting thing to watch as we look for keys to the match. Usually it does come down to a serve-receive battle, but this time more than ever, these two strong serving teams are going to get after it. Whoever wins that attack behind the service line is going to come away with the victory.
Levinska gets the touch. Hitting rotations, Arizona State is best in rotation 1. That is when Shannon Shields is serving. Worst is when Shields is in the front right. But 244 is not bad. BYU's best is when Whitney Bauer is front middle in row 5. Worst is row 2. Billiter to Bauer. Lee rises up, but goes out.
And both these teams kind of uncharacteristic. A lot of emotions right now. We don't see as many unforced errors right away. You can feel that the nerves are kind of really rolling through their bodies, and they've got to calm it down and settle in.
So here another good serve. Here's Livingston, who had 21 kills last night in 3 sets. Crazy. And that one goes down for Claire Jeter, the Pac-12 honorable mention player, one of the best servers in the country.
A little off speed, and Arizona State really going to their middle, trying to establish that early to open up their pins.
Quick for Livingston, dug up again. Set over, this time popped up by Billiter. Livingston in transition, but out. Arizona State with 4 in a row. And you saw on that particular serve, they throw in just an off-speed pitch, if you will. They call it a snoop serve.
Because it's going to look like it's going far, but then doesn't. And
I thought it was for Snoop Dogg or Snoop Lion, but that's just me. Whitney Bauer on the dump. J.J. Van Niel telling us this morning she is probably the most aggressive setter offensively we have seen all year. Both these setters were awesome last night. Errorless, 5 and 6 kills respectively. They're going to get after it. Schroll steps in for the pass. D-ball to Levinska. Out of the back row, she is going to take some swings. BYU has not seen that a ton this year, and there's not a lot that do it. Kenzie Kerber did it for BYU a couple years ago, but she is a dynamic opposite that you can set all over the place.
Right, it's interesting. She gets just as many sets when she's in the back row as when she's in the front row. So that defense for BYU has got to really be dialed in to where Levinska is.
Jeter with the good serve, and look at Kate Pryor down the line. She did not go line a ton. Arizona State very aware of that coming into tonight.
And feeling like give her line, have her make the error. No error there. Terrific swing and good kill.
Jeter did not expect it. It was right in front of her, didn't even make a move to go forward. 5-4 ASU. Aaron Livingston. Shields, real quick from Rebello, and she's blocked by BYU. First block of the match, and we're tied at 5.
Well, you make a good point, real quick, right? That set so fast out to Rebello, so it was really important for Lee to get up and over fast as she was moving laterally. Terrific job by the freshman to make that move quick.
The big leaper in Lee and the tall tree in Pryor. Off the tape for Aaron Livingston. Big 12 first-teamer along with Whitney Bauer and Whitney McEwen Lareness. Of course, this match next year will be a Big 12 match. Arizona State, Arizona, Utah, Colorado all coming to the Big 12 last night. A celebration of the Pac-12 in the final there in Vegas that Washington won with Oregon. Good serve there, Eden Bauer on the swing, getting the start tonight at OH2 after getting pulled last night. Levinska with the kill. And keep an eye on that serve when BYU is in this rotation as Levinska gets the kill. Arizona State's going to try and put it in a spot that makes it awkward for BYU.
Yeah, because there's so much traffic there on the right side of the court right now for BYU. So serve right into it, try to disrupt the approaches.
Pryor goes line again, 2 for 2. Now that is an adjustment.
It is, and it's interesting. It's almost like you're calling the bluff of your opponent. Hey, you know my favorite shot is cross court. They're daring her to go line. How many times will she go line before Arizona State decides, oh, let's make an adjustment, move that block a little more towards the antenna?
It's Kamaila Hiapo, the former Arizona Wildcat. She's played ASU a bunch in her career, 4 years there, now with BYU. Pryor goes line again, but got the touch. She's 3 for 3. Strong start for 6'4" Kate Pryor out of Vegas.
And what a surprise. Kate Pryor really been a good load carry for this team, but has never been that leader on the right side. If she can continue to get this going, that's going to open up the whole net for this BYU team.
Some power on the left side for Roberta Rebelo out of Porto Alegre, Brazil.
And that's that speed again, and what Arizona State wants with that quick set to the outside is to have a ton of space to hit into.
Eight, 7. Good serve by Neal, taking BYU out of system. Bauer into it and gets the kill. In the seam between area 6 and 1. 8-8. We expect this kind of match all night. Back and forth of two teams very similar to each other. Will home court be the difference for BYU? Will the serve be the difference for ASU? Billiter. Levinska. Heather Olmstead telling us today, listen, we can't block Levinska. It's just whether we dig her. No one's been able to slow her down all year.
And I think the goal is, can we get her to hit below 500? You know, if she's hitting 250,
500.
If she's hitting 250, then, you know, you got a shot, which is amazing that she's been that consistent there carrying that big load for that team.
Hitting 348 this year. I mean, she's one of the best oppos in the country. Out of Latvia, the senior. She's really, really good. 9'9". Aria McCumber. An undergrad at Washington State, working on her second master's at BYU. She has played ASU in her career as well in the Pac-12. Bauer with the tip. Hiapo's tight for Livingston, pounds it off the block, they will reset. Bauer to Livingston, Schroll with the dig, nicely done. Sear has dug. In the middle to McEwen Larinus, who is blocked by Jeter, the senior from Missouri City, Texas.
That's one of the first really long rallies where we got to see the incredible defense on both sides really showcase this great dig from Schroll, which feels like she stole that dig. It really takes something out of you as a hitter when you hit your best shot and it pops right up.
And the ace by Arizona State, third in the country at 2+ in ace, and Levinska sets the tone there, 11-9. They really take you out of what you try and do. If BYU can pass it, that changes this match quite a bit. Oh, 2 in a row! Right at Billiter, and it's 12-9.
And the serving for Arizona State has been such an incredible story. Just third best in the nation. They work hard on it, and it's paying off.
Christmas. So much so that they're, you know, are you wearing Sun Devil maroon and gold? You wearing BYU blue and red? Nope, I am Christmas. Let's go. Levinska, another tough serve. Livingston cuts it, but out. 4-0 run by the Sun Devils and a point out of the timeout.
And Livingston still without a kill in this first set. Taking to negative 300. That's rough when your player that gets all your kills isn't showing up. It's tough for BYU to find that opening. Who will step up?
And that one was airmailed. And now let's see if BYU can figure something out. 0 kills, 2 errors, 6 swings for Aaron Livingston early. Heather Olmstead trying to implore her team to come back here. McEwen Larinus, nearly an ace, good save by Jeter. McCumber, all options there, including the dump. Levinska was the one that got the tip. Bauer able to get it off the tape from Livingston. Blocked by Lee! The freshman on the all Big 12 rookie team with the block, in BYU with 2 in a row.
And again, Neely showing how quick she is laterally and just throwing herself into that seam. She doesn't have much time. She's barely off the ground. It's so fast, but she's taking away that cross-court shot.
1 foot to the right.
Exactly.
ASU out of system a bit, and a nice swing by Sear to get a point back there despite a couple of tough serves from McHugh and Larenus. What a night last night for Jelly Sear, the junior from Flower Mound, Texas. 10 kills, hit .529. That is an ASU tournament record. Had 7 digs as well against Georgia. Billiter a better pass, getting aced a couple of times. Lee right at Levinska. She can do it all. Roberta Robella. Thrown by Bauer, dug by Schroll with the hands. Rally on for both. Lee hangs. Free ball from Obella, nicely tipped. Bauer, Livingston had one up and gets it to go. Bauer drawing the block in one-on-one for Erin Livingston, who gets her first kill on her 8th swing.
It's a big point from Bauer. A lot of effort as she attacked the ball, and because she had proved that she was an offensive threat, drew that middle blocker, which allowed Livingston a ton of court. And if she's struggling, it's nice to have one of those swings where you don't have to work too hard.
Levinska through the block. Even on that D-ball, it seems like there just happens to be seams. It's just, even though you're chugging it to the back row, it's quick enough to where sometimes the block has a hard time getting over there, even though you know this could be coming at any moment with Levinska.
And the fact that she's a lefty makes it harder to line up, but also look at her awareness that a small seam, she can hit it.
Now Pryor goes angle and is dug up after going 3 for 3, but she gets the big block there. So Pryor with 3 kills and 2 blocks. ASU up 15-13.
Pryor up and over, and that was a well-formed block. Not a ton of space for Rebello to just fire into.
Erin Livingston, 3rd in the Big 12 in points per set, 4th in kills per set, at a fantastic first senior year. Set over, kept alive. Look at Hiapo on the ground swinging, and then this one gets airmailed out as well. And so that's going to be another error for BYU. 5 in this set.
And Livingston just wants
having
to
a hard time, yeah.
She can find her way back. She just needs some time to kind of get that breath going.
Mia Lee thumps it. Sun Devils still up by 2 in this. Again, what's at stake for Arizona State is they have overachieved in every way possible in this first year. 27 wins, second most in a season in Arizona State history. The 14 wins in conference play, the most in program history, the most sweeps with 19. They've never won 2 games in the NCAA tournament. They could do that tonight. Could be a record-setting evening for ASU. Pryor cuts it, but out. First error for Pryor as BYU continues to struggle on offense. They are not going to challenge this.
And it's interesting, we talked to Coach Van Niel, and he said someone had told him, like, hey, at this point you're playing with house money. And he's like, no, I'm
too competitive
in this. We belong here, and we want to go as far as we can.
We deserve this. We've got to prove it. 17-14. Pryor tools it off the block.
And a really nice set from Bauer. Doing what great setters do when you're out of system, immediately making a great set, putting the team right back in system, meaning they can take their full approach, they can get a good hard swing.
And a Billiter, 9th in the Big 12 in aces per set. Had an ace last night. As an ace in 4 of the last 6. Shields for Levinska. Goes lining out. 1-point set now. Both teams. I could win it was, but it was a lot of fun. She did a great job. Perfect pass up to the net. Sear, Bauer, free ball from Hiapo for a 2-point lead. Jelly Sear pounding it again. Over 300 kills this year. as a number 2 option for ASU.
Jelly Sear in a really good position because she's right in the middle of 2 fantastic hitters in Levinska and Jeter, and so she is able to capitalize on a lot of open court that she gets to use.
Bauer into the net, poor swing there. 19-16, ASU has been in control of this match so far. You don't look at the stats and go ASU is blowing BYU out or vice versa. 160 for ASU, 111 for BYU. It's tough serving, it's good defense in this one. Schroll, poor pass from BYU. Billiter betters the ball there. Bauer easily dug up. Levinska got high hands. 20-16 ASU. Timeout BYU, second and final. And there have not been a ton of matches this year where BYU has taken 2, but it's everybody else but Kate Pryor. Has 5 kills, 6 errors, 22 swings. Erin Livingston, 1 for 9 after having 21 kills in 3 sets last night. Certainly a tough start as that one goes out. 2017. Every point crucial in the NCAA tournament here in Provo. Final home match for 4 seniors for BYU. ASU trying to keep this thing going, do what no other Sun Devil team has ever done, and win a second game in the NCAA tournament. Aria McCumber. Shields. Sear just whizzes past Jeter as BYU had to try and get to the right side. Left side checked out.
And the passing for ASU in system allowing them to run that complicated offense with 2 quick sets, a double quick. It's really tough to block.
Tough serve again from Levinska. Livingston, second kill on 10 swings now. 3-point set.
It's a big side out, not only for what it might give to Livingston as far as confidence, but puts BYU into a good scoring rotation for them. They've got to make a run here at this stage as Arizona State 3 points ahead and closer to 25.
Sun Devils 23-1 when they win the first set. 22-18 now. And Sear continues to play well in Provo here. 3 points away for ASU. And you think about it, there were only 4 wins all year where ASU didn't win the first set. That's a big deal for the Sun Devils. By the way, Stanford won the first set 25-15 over Houston. Winner of that game plays the winner of this game next week. Erin Livingston. If Stanford wins, that game is at Stanford. So that's what is at stake for the Cardinal. And if BYU wins this and Stanford wins this, we could have our second NCAA tournament game between the Cardinal and Cougars. Last night, Stanford taking out BYU in women's soccer 2-0 in the College Cup semifinals. Scored those goals in the first 3.5 minutes. Pryor is stuffed, 23-19. ASU.
When you're on the offensive and you can get your team out of system, the block has that time to really settle in. Terrific move from Jeter to get over and shut down that seam.
Second block for the Sun Devils. Another tough serve. Pryor this time tips. Back over for Pryor. Well done to sweep it over to the left side where no one was home.
Very smart heads-up play. Recognizing she didn't need to hammer that ball, just be aware of where the open space was and put it down. Kate Pryor's really stepping up in this first set.
5 for 9, hitting .333, 2 blocks as well. ASU 2 points away. Shields high for Levinska, has to redo her approach. BYU into the net. That is set point for ASU.
That one hurts probably more than any of those others, making a good defensive effort, forcing Arizona State into a free ball situation, but then another unforced error.
Perhaps it was Mia Lee there. Another tough serve. Eden Bauer dug up for the set. Levinska gets it, 25-20. ASU comes out firing in set number 1. And triple zeros, Jelly Series you saw there. 4 for 8, 375. 25-20, ASU up a set. Jerem Jordan, Amy Gant and our crew In Provo with you, and that one goes out from Aria McCumber. ASU will start it off as Heather Olmstead. Spectacular in the first round, 9-0 in her 9 seasons. And at home has only lost 8 matches in almost 9 completed seasons. It is tough to win in this gym. And again, Levinska off of Billiter. That's 3 now in that matchup in serve receive in area 6.
You can see that frustration as that ball just drops. You have Billiter kind of frustrated in her head. They're going to pull her out and just pass with 3 different. We'll see if...
Yep, they're hiding her on the back row now. McCumber now, overpass. Jeter with the block. 3 in a row, and that serve is giving BYU fits.
Arizona State has so many servers that are so good. Even those that don't play can come in and really get players in trouble. They work on it so much as a team.
Another tough pass from BYU. Yapo high for Livingston, and it goes down. That serve is just dominating BYU. Cougars, if this was boxing, they're on the ropes just taking blows.
And talking to Coach Van Niel, you know, he talks about how important serving is. What he focused on when he came in and had this team, they were 11th of 12 in the Pac-12 in serving.
And look at that serve. This time BYU can at least get something hittable, and Aaron Livingston gets the kill. And if you're BYU, you just take a deep breath there and go, ugh, that was a tough run.
And being in the passing lanes, everything about volleyball in general and passing especially is about confidence. And when you don't feel confident, you could not pass a free ball. It is so tough, and you just want to get that server off the line.
Kewen Laranis. Shields, Jeter, yes. Jeter continues to play well. 2 kills, had a dig, 4 blocks in that first set. 5-1 ASU.
And great choices again. Shannon Shields just running a great offense, making good decisions, getting everyone involved.
And that's the first kill. You get to 5 points with 1 kill. Off the net for Livingston, still got it to go, and she is fired up. Only had 3 kills in that first set, 2 early ones for BYU. The first 2 points for the Cougars in this set. Whitney Bauer will serve it up in 5 years. 3 aces away from the rally scoring record, by the way, for BYU in aces. Shields, Sear, perfectly placed. 5 for 9 for Jelly Sear.
Great job again from that transition play. Shannon Shields, usually she likes to go to Levinska out of the back row. Levinska was the one on the ground digging that ball. Heads up play to recognize Sear, get that kill.
Into the net for Jeter. JJ Van Niel telling us regarding Sear, hey, she was struggling in Pac-12 play. He said, it was my fault. We took way too long to realize we need to speed up the sets to her. And once they did that, she's really found a better connection with Shields. You can see it tonight. Erin Livingston moving over to her right to serve. Had 5 aces in a match at UCF a couple of weeks ago. Shields real quick for Rebello. That one's good, but Bauer can't get it before falling underneath. Some of these little tips and garbage balls here and there that come off the block, BYU's not popping them up right now.
That's a good point, Jeremy. I think cleaning up the off-speed stuff is what BYU wants to just gobble up, run it, get a transition kill. If they're struggling to side out, they want to get those transition kills, but right now neither going their way.
Bauer down the line. The nepotistic acceptable set between sisters. A couple of years ago, their older sister, Morgan, played, and they actually had a Bauer to Bauer to Bauer play on the serve receive, the set, and the spike. That's pretty cool.
And the world exploded.
Yes, it did. And then it was rebuilt somehow. 7-4. Levinska through the block. I don't know how she does it. It's right in front of where we're sitting. She's just awesome.
And that contact is so high. She's hitting high through that seam. Just
got a touch
ripping
too.
it to that deep court. It makes it look so easy. She's got such great vision, is so smart, and makes those good decisions.
Jillian Neal, freshman from San Diego. McEwen-Laranis, the middle connection between the Whitneys.
McEwen-Laranis with only her second kill of the match. BYU loves to get the ball to her when they can, and that passing has just not been up to the net enough where they can run McEwen-Laranis the way they'd like to.
Brielle Miller coming in to serve, the freshman from Orem. Has played in 46 sets this year. And goes long. 9-5 ASU, already up a set by 5. BYU and Heather Olmstead searching for answers. There's Mary Schroll, grad transfer from Tempe, played 4 years at LMU. She's back home, getting a master's degree now in business analytics. Into the net. Both teams 5 errors now, BYU 3 from the service line. 9-6, but it's been ASU in control in the first set, ASU in control here in the second. BYU's not really led much in this match.
And on the defensive, like you said, just feeling like they've never been in control. Everything is been pushed and started by ASU.
That's not what they feel like in this gym very often. Is that one was tight, and Sear just pounded her over the top, off the block. 10-6 Sun Devils.
Sear is one that has really just hit her stride this last half of the conference season, found that confidence, been such a big offensive weapon on both sides of the floor.
Ace again, that's 4 for Marta Levinska. Oh my goodness. Right now, nearly unstoppable. Didn't have any.
And got taken out from the service line.
Yeah, that timeout was worth it. If you're BYU, you got her to float one out. But my goodness, has gobbled BYU up. And offensively, BYU's hitting 146 for the match. That ASU serve, as we mentioned, is the storyline from the Sun Devils, and it's going great.
A good story for them.
Here's McEwen-Laranis. High for Levinska, goes line. Kill number 10. She's 3 digs away from a double-double already.
Once again, just that high swing as the BYU block struggling to figure out how to contain her. It is different to set up against a lefty oppo, but also she just hits that ball so high and has such great range.
Livingston blocked. Reset set over by Bauer. Schroll. Oh, and Schroll was in the way of Shields, and so she couldn't get to the ball. Made a nice save, but in the wrong spot.
See that BYU bench and coaching staff off their chairs, urging their team on. They recognize this is an opportunity right here to make a run.
12-8, Sun Devils in control. Bauer over 130 aces in her career, that one out.
BYU missing so many serves, but it's clear what they're trying to do is really get after it, put some pressure on this Arizona State team. But the good thing about tough serving is you get to serve in practice against those passers, and so the passers for Arizona State are actually really, really good because they face that tough serve day in and day out.
Dieter second into the net. JJ Van Niel looks on. This team had not been to the tourney since 2015, his first year after coming over from USC. 27-6 in the second round, and right now in control in Provo. Oh, look at Shields going too, but it was way out.
We'll say she was going for fingers on that play. She was just going to blast that block. She knew that Mia Lee jumped high. She just over-anticipated how high she jumped.
Just barely out. And she didn't have an error last night, by the way. 6 for 9 hitting. Shields, that is. Tight. Look at Rebelo wipe it off the block. The Brazilian from down south in Rio Grande do Sul. 14-10 ASU. Shields, 37 aces this year. Freshman year at Louisville, last 4 at Arizona State. Probably very well could have been a first-team Pac-12 honoree, was not. As Lee goes out, 15-10 Sun Devils.
Second set starting to get away from BYU. They're clearly frustrated. Things aren't going their way. Everything feels like a slog rather than that smooth, easy flow that you'd like to get, and that's all because of the serve.
Ace again. We'll see if they give it to her. Took 3 shots, so maybe not, but time at a point. It's not only about an ace, it's do we get a point when you serve? 16-10. Pryor is blocked. 17-10 ASU. Well on their way to going up 2-0 as it stands. Pryor 5 for 11, 2 errors. Really likely drew that up at the timeout, did not work. Into traffic, BYU out of sorts. For an 8-point lead, Rebello tip. And BYU into the net again.
And at this point, you can just feel for BYU, they just want it to end. Just end this second set. Let's get off the court and start over in the third.
Can they muster any kind of momentum here? Because it certainly feels like this set is over.
Well, the crowd is so quiet.
It's a little too reverent, as they say in these parts. Ace again. ASU. The Sun Devils absolutely shining here in set 2. Shannon Shields with it, a 6-0 run by the Sun Devils. And that's right at your libero.
And unloading on that play, but you can see where BYU passing. Hiapo is passing most of that court.
Even then, that was in traffic. Mia Lee with the kill. Still had to fight through the adversity of Lee getting right in front of Hiapo on that pass. Lee gets the kill, ends the 6-0 run, 19-11. BYU hitting sub 100 in this set. Arizona State hitting 778. They've only needed 8 kills to get to 19 points.
And they're siding out at 90%.
And there's BYU's first ace. Kamaile Hiapo, the Arizona State Wildcat, the former rival of said Arizona State Sun Devils. Plenty of matches played in her career against ASU. 19-12, into the net, and that was in the middle of the net. ASU the first to 20, and again, already up 1-0.
For BYU right here, they just got to try to get themselves out of the slog that they're in. Nothing going their way. If they can try to turn some points here, get some confidence heading into the third set, try to fight their way back.
Jaden Ravensburg off the bench, had an ace yesterday. Shields high for Levinska, off of Eden Bauer, 21-12, 11 kills for Marta Levinska, first team all Pac-12.
Levinska so smooth, so much control on that play. Just makes it look easy as she swipes that ball, hits it off the hands. She knows right where they are.
Better pass this time from BYU. Schroll with the dig. Sear off the block and down. Kind of lost it when she landed. 21-13. Just the second error from Sear. 6 for 11. And Brielle Miller will serve again for BYU. The Cougars have been to 5 of the last 8 Sweet 16s. A lot of that has to do with playing matches in this gym. Last time BYU didn't win the second round game in this gym was 2019 against Utah. In the middle from Maddie McLaughlin. It's been a quiet game for McLaughlin so far, but she gets the kill to get to 22.
And we talked in the open just about how close these teams were. Arizona State made a case they could have hosted as well.
Totally.
BYU, the 4-seed Arizona State, the 5-seed, they're really close in rankings, just one off, so very similar.
Perfect pass from Livingston. Bowers like, I will take care of this one. Everyone settle down. 22-14. BYU has lost 7 sets in this gym all year. 1 match, 7 sets. It's now 8 with ASU in the first. They're not used to this. Someone coming in and pushing them around. McCumber. Shields at the net, free ball from Schroll. In-system slide, McEwen-Lernis blocked, Miller right there. Bauer one-footed set to McEwen-Lernis. ASU into the net, BYU point, 22-15.
The crowd, you feel them, they're just dying for something to cheer about.
Besides this delicious Cougar Tail maple bar.
There hasn't been much, and BYU's just trying to get out of it. Volleyball's a roller coaster, and sometimes things are going your way. BYU struggled with things not going their way for a while, and credit that Arizona State has made it hard on BYU.
Bauer with the dump. 2 of the last 3 points for BYU, 22-16. Crowd getting into it, a little momentum.
Which is something Arizona State hasn't had to face yet, right? This is the first time BYU's even gone on any sort of run. How is Arizona State going to play with some pressure?
Still up 6 with 3 to go. Better defense from BYU. Oh, and Bauer just goes into the net.
You like Bauer turning to her team and saying, oh, that was a great dig. You know, that was my fault. Fantastic work. She's been such a great leader for this program for the last 5 years, set every ball, been on the court, been the face of BYU.
She's played in 10 NCAA tournament games, 6-4 record. Livingston, dug up by Schroll. And the block by McEwen-Lernis. 23-17. Arizona State looks like they're going to win this set, but BYU trying to capture something going into set 3.
Billy trying to go really sharp cross court. McEwen-Lernis reaching over, taking that ball away.
J.J. Van Niel, when he was a coach at Utah, said that he coached McEwen-Lernis in club a little bit. So, hey, yeah, I had a connection there. He said, yeah, she's been at BYU a while. What was she, class of 18? Indeed she has. Red shirts and COVIDs. And oh, wow. Set point, Claire Jeter. Boom goes the dynamite.
Such a great play. You could see a ton of open court. Bauer released and was going to the outside for that quick set outside to Jelly Sear, but she wasn't the one that was chosen for that set.
Miller, tight pass, just won by Bauer. Rebello. Bauer over to Livingston, blocked. Miller on the cover. Bauer, Lee, yes. 24-18. Plenty of runway for ASU here.
BYU, though, winning more of these transition points than they have all match long. Like you said, too little, too late in this second set. But can they take it into the third and feel confident stepping on that floor?
High for Levinska. Bauer quick to Livingston off the block and out. 24-19. Set point number 3 coming up. BYU was down 6 and had 3 set points against them by Weber State in set 3 yesterday. Came back and won in the sweep, but had to make a comeback in that set 3. Rebello is blocked. 24-20. Do you call timeout now if you're ASU? After 4 in a row from BYU, the answer is one off with BYU in this gym. BYU 1-3. BYU and Stanford had some crazy matches in 2018 and 19. BYU went 2-1 in those 3. Tipped by Jeter, popped up high for Pryor. Levinska for the set, tipped by Rebello. BYU with the chance. Pryor, did she get touch? Point given to BYU. And how about the Cougars here at the end of this set? 4-0 run.
The pancake there, and we're going to get a challenge from Arizona State that ball was out and there was no touch on the play.
Look, point BYU. So had they reversed that, we would have replayed that. Because it's in the middle of the point, of course. So how about BYU here has cut this to 3, Amy. And this is set point number 5. You don't have to get to that number.
Yeah, really shocking. I think we've seen Arizona State be quieted a little bit. Everything has been going their way, very smooth, and now they have to fight to win this.
Levinska, and that is it. It was a good run by BYU, but ultimately ASU takes set 2, 25-21. Arizona State, as you mentioned very well, could have hosted. They were close. BYU was close to not hosting. They were a little nervous, thinking they had to go on the road. Last year did, right? And here we are in the second round of the NCAA tournament. And ASU is 1 set away from history. And BYU, in the Heather Olmstead era, when hosting, 4 out of the 5 times has won both games and won that second round. The exception was 2019 against Utah in this gym, back when Whitney Bauer was a freshman, and she certainly does not want to bookend her career with those losses. She felt like after her freshman year, that was her fault. As a freshman, she had reclassified, by the way. She should have been a senior in high school. Like, she should have been going to prom.
Typical setter, though, right? You know, everything is on your shoulders.
It's not all your credit or fault, but you are certainly a big piece.
You never get credit, right? Like, setters never get credit.
We'll give them credit.
I think they should get a ton of credit.
We're the Discover card of broadcasters.
But the setter mentality just in the sport is, you work so hard and the hitters get the credit, and if there's a problem, you take all the blame.
Out. And if you're a BYU fan, that is the greatest thing that could have happened right there. Not a kill, not a big block, a service error, given how amazing Arizona State has been at that so far.
Oh, and especially when you're in those passing lanes. I remember times when you're just praying, like, don't serve me, please, just serve out.
Just real positive thoughts there.
Exactly.
Tipped over, nicely done to Area 5 by Shannon Shields. Again, she's aggressive, just like Bauer.
She is, and talking again about setters, you run the offense, you create the offense, and Shields has done such a great job getting everyone involved, making good choices, calling her number when she needed to, waiting for that moment.
Shields was 0 for 4 prior to that. Mia Lee, look at Levinska with the dig. Free ball, awkward. Livingston, Aaron Livingston, 6 for 18 with 4 errors in the first 2. Certainly not what we saw last night, which was spectacular, with 21 kills in 3 sets.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see how that last-minute push from BYU in the second set really affected this third set, specifically Livingston. Maybe breathing a little bit, like, okay, it doesn't have to be all me, and she can go and relax and play her game.
Rebella overpass. Mia Lee is blocked by Shields on the Han Solo. Never tell her the odds.
And that's a missed opportunity. The double, or the block from the setter off of an overpass. BYU had served tough into that, but Shields, again, stealing that play.
That ball drops on the serve from Jeter. She's really good at that. Levinska somehow dug by Livingston. Eden Bauer now into the net. Error BYU, 3-2 ASU.
Terrific dig from Livingston. You see she kind of sat in there and stuck that. That feels really good.
Is it hockey season yet or what? Some Happy Gilmore there. Nearly an ace. Lee. Overhand swing from Hiapos, set over, popped up by Bauer, that's good. Pryor, OTT off of Levinska. Pryor 7 kills, tied with Livingston for a team high.
And like you mentioned earlier, yes, the kill, but more importantly, getting off the line Jeter, who was absolutely hammering that ball down the line, so much spin. BYU wants her off the line as well.
Hey, repping that last name proud. Shields, Rebello, off the block. Roberta Rebello, 4 for 16. Make it 5 kills now. 4-3 Sun Devils, set 3. If you're just tuning in, great to have you with us. Jerem Jordan, Amy Gant. Arizona State has dominated this match, winning 25-20, 25-21. BYU forced 5 set points in set 2. Got a little bit of momentum. We'll see if that carries over here to set 3. McEwen Lareness with the kill. Again, BYU 13-1 at home. Really disappointing loss to Kansas on senior night that they thought and hopefully didn't cost them hosting. Did not. Had to go out on the road and beat West Virginia and TCU the week of Thanksgiving. In fact, they traveled on Thanksgiving Day. And so they sat and watched the selection show. We're very happy to host, but right now ASU has them on the ropes. Rebella's dug up. Bauer with the dump.
And 4 kills already in this current set for BYU, where they've struggled to get anything going offensively. And 4 different people getting a kill. So moving that ball around, passing that ball to the net so they can find that rhythm offensively.
5 kills for Bauer, third most on the team. More than McEwen Lareness as Miller goes long. Bauer is so aggressive because BYU hasn't been good enough at the second outside position. Aaron Livingston's done a fine job first team all-conference. They haven't found even continuity with who is that person. Last night, 3 different players played. Eden Bauer has gone the distance so far tonight. She's 2 for 8.
But you're right, in that position last night, just 1 kill out of those 3 people.
3rd kill for Eden Bauer. Speaking of, sister connection there. Bauer got the taller jeans from Danny and Caroline. Danny played basketball at BYU. Caroline played volleyball with you. Still coaches a ton. They're in Idaho. They have run a club that's producing D1 players now, not only at BYU, but Kansas and Hawaii and others. Over the top and down the line for Jelly Sear, 7 for 14. 6-6.
Macomber had a really nice serve there, but the passing from the Sun Devils so good. Yes, they're a great serving team, but their passing is great as well, and they feel like they've got to be in system because they're a little undersized. They're not as physical as some of the other teams they face.
Livingston was one-on-one there, but couldn't get a good swing on it. Levinska. Bauer. Back to Livingston. Levinska off the block. Jelly Sear with a good dig to help that transition.
I don't know how you can say you're not a physical team when you've got a Marta Levinska.
yeah, wait a minute.
Squad. One of the most
kills.
dominant opposites in the country is currently hitting .632 with 13 kills. You don't need anyone else.
4 aces and 8 digs to go with that. Nice combo platter. What a swing from Livingston and a good dig from Schroll. Livingston with the dig. Back to McEwen Larinac, and she is blocked by Jeter. 7th block for the Sun Devils, 8-6 in set 3.
This third set kind of turning into the battle we thought it would be. Both teams trading side outs, having to work for every single point and showcasing every aspect of the game.
Bauer high for Livingston, got hands. Oh, the one-handed stab by Zadiska, and then put it away. Wow, what a play. ASU fans off their feet behind the bench.
I think BYU thought Sear was going to maybe off-speed that ball. It's a little out of system. Let's go back on defense. Not really block. Nope. Just going to hammer that corner.
Wow. 8 kills now, hitting 312 for Sear. Had a fantastic 2 matches here in Provo. McEwen Larinac off of Jeter. Probably need more of that. 5 for 9. McEwen Larinac has been the number 2 hitter for BYU. Not ideal to have a middle as one of those people, but in terms of volume, that's how it's been this year with BYU, who have made their living on good defense, good serving and blocking, which has turned into good defense. 9-7 ASU. Good pass up to that. Shields. Lee gets blocked, reset for BYU. Bauer to Lee. Schroll. Dump by Bauer, and look at another dig, this time by Shields. Sear. Miller with the dig. Out to Livingston, yeah! BYU had to work hard for that one.
Really big, and somebody quiet who you don't always know. You look at Ari Macomber. She has had a really nice series, both passing and playing defense, creating opportunities. She's getting passes up to the net, allowing BYU to run their offense. She's really popping balls up defensively. You don't notice, but the reason BYU's getting those passes is Macomber's been fantastic.
Ace ties it at 9 for Whitney McEwen Larinac in her final match in this gym. And Ace man proudly lays down number 2.
Been sitting on those all night waiting to get more.
It's like, hey, I got a lot of these. What do you say is
16.
16 of them. It's a lot. High for Levinska, Macomber, Jeter, Miller. Livingston goes out, did not get touched. No appeal from BYU. 10-9 Sun Devils. BYU hasn't really had the lead and made a run and put the pressure on in any of the 3 sets. If you're the Sun Devils, you're like, we're content to keep this like this.
Exactly.
Like, obviously we want the lead, but BYU has not put the pressure on.
And I think you're right. That point right there would have been a critical win because BYU had won so many of the last long rallies. One more would have maybe put that pressure on Arizona State.
Both these teams have only lost 6 matches all year. They have not seen L's very often. That one is good from Erin Livingston. 9 kills now. 6 in the last 2. 5 digs, 3 assists for her as well. You see the hitting percentage. Those are losing numbers for BYU. Certainly everybody looks at hitting percentage. ASU absolutely dominating in the hitting percentage category. 10-10, set 3. ASU up 2-0. Sear throws it. There's McCumber again, as you mentioned, Amy. Pryor. Sear. Same spot. That one in. 11-10 ASU.
And the precision of placement. We get a good look at McCumber, but then another defensive effort, and Arizona State just tattooing that back line. So tough to play defense back there.
Jelly Sear. 300 plus hitting percentage the last 5. She's been awesome. Pryor block was late. ASU able to get something there. Levinska, look at Hiapo. Shields high for Levinska, down the line. Hiapo with a great dig. Livingston off the block and down. We are tied at 11, and Hiapo, the former Arizona Wildcat, still doing it against the old rival.
And what a spark amazing defense does to a team. Hiapo with 2 huge digs in that rally. BYU's able to get the point.
1-on-1 as well there for Livingston, who will serve for Brigham Young, the senior from Corona, California. Bit of a mishandle. That's a hittable ball there from Rebello, and it goes out. Wow, super out of system. Levinska gave Rebello something to hit.
And Rebello just smartly saying, I've got a big block. I'm going to use those hands out of bounds instead of trying to go around him.
Here's Jeter. Her serve is fantastic. Good pass. For context, did Lee graze the ball on the way
She must have.
to Bauer? No appeal from BYU, so that happened. 13-11.
And that hurts because, like you said, Jeter, that down the line serve is just nasty.
Oh, that was a missile. Whitney Bauer is front back row, so she can't go up. Rebello overpass kill there. Timeout BYU. 14-11. The door's been open. Program record 19 this season. And this would be one of the best. You could argue the Stanford one's the best for sure. But given the circumstances and the stakes, it'd be pretty good. Jeter out of the timeout, goes long. Houston up 19-12 in set 3 at Stanford, down 0-2. So the Cougars trying to push that one to 4 in Palo Alto. Winner of that one gets the winner of this one. It's served by Hiapo. Edenbauer. Pushed over by McEwen-Laranis. Quickly for Rebello. McEwen-Laranis. Pryor. Untouched by ASU. 15-12. A big groan from this crowd. The window feels like it is closing a little bit on this match right here with ASU up by 3 now.
It really does. BYU working so hard to work their way back in, but what Arizona State has done is played very clean volleyball. They haven't made an error in this third set.
How about that? 8 kills on 22 swings. 364. Every swing big for BYU right now. Bauer dug up by Schroll. Shields to Levinska. Off of Bauer and the block. 16-12 ASU. 9 points away from the second win in an NCAA tournament ever for ASU. I'm surprised that's not happened, but that never has. They've been to round 3 back when the tourney was, you'd have a bye here and there. They've been to round 3 twice, but they never won 2 games. They look like they're doing it tonight.
They do, and interesting that should they win, they would face the winner of the Stanford-Houston match. And if I'm Stanford and win, I'm a little nervous. I don't know.
We got swept by that team.
Yeah, you don't want to face this team.
Livingston, tough pass. Rebello puts it over. Mistakes by BYU. ASU is making them pay. 4-0.
Really been on the attack.
Did we just interrupt the music video shoot right there? What was that?
boy band?
17. They're coming back, baby. 17-12. Saw the Backstreet Boys last summer. Oh, man.
You did?
Amazing. Is NSYNC in back now? What's going on? I know Creed got. They're touring again. Let's go. Claire Little into the match and makes an immediate impact. Again, yesterday, played for the first time since September 29th after a foot injury. A spark off the bench.
And Whitney Bauer going right to Little, which is interesting. You're cold, you're off the bench, you got to come in and take a swing.
Little just said, let's freaking go. She said freaking. That's a very BYU thing that just happened there. Brielle Miller. Levinska off of Little, recovers. Back to Little. ASU trying to get to point 18 now, Rebello. Bauer back row to Livingston, and she goes long. 18-13. Sun Devils 7 points away.
And another unforced error on a good choice. That was probably a good play, the one BYU should have gone with, but as has been the story all night long, just the usual not working.
Jaden Ravensburg from Shawnee, Kansas. Was a freshman at Kansas State in the Big 12, now with Arizona State, who's going to go back over to the Big 12. Little inside of the block for the kill, 18-14. Claire Little's brother Ian plays on the men's team. A fun combo there.
And credit Little doing what she was asked to do. Come off the bench, make an impact, bring some fire, bring some energy.
We just need a run now. Emma Cumber, former Pac-12 player herself at Washington State. Shields high for Levinska. Look at Miller give this a shot. Free ball, Bauer's got it. Shields, Levinska again. And the middle for BYU, Whitney McEwen Lareness. Late to get out there, but it's hard to defend the middle of the court as well.
Well, it is also because look at how far out. You see Livingston so frustrated. She feels like she's lining up well. She's pressing, she's getting over, but Levinska just continues to tool that block and have her way.
19-14. What a shot from McEwen Lareness down the line.
You could feel the urgency in the teams and in the court. BYU knows this is the time for them to make a run. It's got to be right here.
Alyssa Erickson's going to come in and serve. Alyssa had 20 aces off the bench as a primary serving sub. Her husband Ethan is a tight end. Football team there, you see BYU President Shane Reese on the left, Athletic Director Tom Homo on the right. And those are two competitive guys. They're hoping BYU can come back in this one. Here's Erickson off the bench. Did not play last week and did not play much last night. Jeter, you have a chance to cut it into three. Livingston goes out. Been a tough night for Aaron Livingston, 7th hitting error. 20-15. It feels like Arizona State has had that score in all three. And BYU running out of room. Arizona State hoping to get out of here in three. Ace for ASU, and they can smell it now. 4 points away for Levinska and ASU in history. And that ties a career high of 5 aces for Levinska.
Well, and big players play their best in big matches, and Marta Levinska has just come into this match dominating. She's one of the best opposites in the country, and it certainly showed it in all aspects of the game.
And goes long. And Whitney Bauer will serve, second most aces in the rally era at BYU. She's going to switch sides. 21-16. ASU up 2-0. Shields to Jeter. Off of Bauer. 22-16 now for the Sun Devils. We thought we'd see a little more competitive match, frankly, in this one. ASU has really brought it.
And I think it started with that serving and that pressure that's just so relentless. Breaks you down mentally. BYU not able to bounce back and put anything together. Not without effort. Credit the Cougars, you know, fighting through good teams. Sometimes it's your day. Sometimes it's not, but you still put forth the effort regardless, and BYU has definitely left it all on the floor.
Erin Livingston back to serve. Been on a tear the last couple of matches, and she goes long. ASU up 6 with 2 to go. And this crowd is quiet. It is hard to do that in this gym.
And Claire Jeter back behind the line, feeling confident, loose, she can get after it.
He's down the line. Claire Little. Runs tight, blocked by BYU and down, 23-18.
Good effort, it's not over yet. Terrific work laterally to get that block by Mia Lee. The freshman's had an incredible first year, and she's got a lot more to come.
Yapo. Little out of system, Schroll sky high. Sear, Robello gets hands, Livingston. There's Claire Little, good swing, better dig. Robello is stuffed by McEwen-Lareness, 23-19. BYU trying to claw back into this.
And if you want a quick shot of adrenaline for your team, the best way to...
At 5. All 5 still in it. Okay, here we go. Kamaila Hiapo, 23-19. ASU. Oh, Levinska went off the tape and down, and it threw off BYU's defense. Match point with 4 in a row to go here.
Because everyone in the gym knew where that set was going to go. If Arizona State wants a side out, if they want a point, it's got to be Levinska.
Shields will serve it as ASU looks to get to the second round. The lefty at Claire Little. Bauer has to run to get it. Little swing, Schroll for the second round, blocked by BYU. Levinska, Livingston, McEwen-Lareness. 20 for BYU. They've got to go 5 in a row to tie it.
Well, and BYU has made this last-minute push in every single set, but it's just felt a little too late for the team, as Arizona State has that really strong lead.
Brielle Miller's gone long a couple of times. Crucial serve here with the season on the line. Match point goes down the line. Shields in a phone booth, goes out. No touch by BYU, 2 in a row. ASU fans on their feet. Match point number 3.
Where's this set gonna go?
For the second round, Levinska, yes! For the first time in Arizona State history, the Sun Devils have won a second game in the NCAA tournament. They come into Provo